When I started reading in my adult life, the first book that got me back into reading was fantasy. And I own a lot of fantasy books. And the ones that I've read in the last couple of years haven't been great. And I want to read all the books that are on my TBR, which so happen to be mainly fantasy. So I need to bite a bullet and read fantasy books that I've purchased and just pray that they're not shit. I adopted a kitten 2 weeks ago and he's going crazy, but the first book that we are starting with is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, who also wrote Priority of the Orange Tree, which I haven't read. I saw someone do a 24-hour readathon. I'll pop it on the screen because I unfortunately can't remember their name, but they started with this book. I heard them talk about it. I read one comment that said I read it in a week and nothing has compared since. So I bought it. Should I have? No. Let me just go get the menace really quick. This is Astro. He's 12 weeks old at time of recording. He'll probably be making appearances because he's very clingy, but also very independent at the same time. And he's jumped on the bench. For fuck's sake. If you have watched some of my book videos before, what I am about to say should not come as a shock to you. I haven't really been reading. I'm on page 32 and it has been 3 days. Not because I'm not enjoying it, not because I haven't been thinking about it. I've been playing Fortnite. What I have discovered, this is my theory, this is my hypothesis. The last couple of fantasy books that I have read have spoon-fed me like I am a toddler, and I've gotten so used to having information just explained to me that when I started reading this and they're like, that's a clairvoyant, that's a clairvoyant, that is a normal person but they have a special name, and that is a clairvoyant who works for the government and they kill people like me. I'm like, whoa, hang on. What is going on? So I had to actually use my brain, which is great. This isn't a bad thing that I had to use my brain. This is what I wanted. The last couple of books has just been absolute, like, baby food in my mouth. I'm enjoying it, and now that I have my head wrapped around it and come to terms with the fact that I need to use my brain, I'm enjoying it. I just haven't been reading it. I hate nicknames. I hate them so much. Little Dreamer, kill me. I'm on page 260 of The Bone Season. I'd say I'm about 30-40%. I'm almost halfway. The stakes are pretty high. The whole nickname thing, I understand that this is from 10 years ago. Like, that is in my head. But the concept of nicknames with little in them, I want to shoot myself. Little Dreamer, Little Air, a little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side. Like, I'm on the final part of The Bone Season. It's 3 parts, as most fantasy books do. So I'm on chapter 27, The Bicentenary. It is a little bit predictable, but since the predictability has happened, I'm a lot more invested. I can't lie. The main character, as soon as like we discovered the bit about him, I was like, yeah, of course that's the case. We are also in a different filming location because I've realized every clip I've had is at my desk. I have that much left. I feel like I can finish that today. I'm gonna go lock in. I'm listening to the audiobook right now because someone has decided to sleep on me. But they had a makeout session, and then the makeout session turned into a murder fest. It's fucking unreal. Oh, I'm sorry. I finished The Bone Season earlier today. I sat on it for a little bit. I was planning to just give my straight up review immediately. And I did. I recorded something and then I fought back on it. And I realized I didn't really articulate it the way I wanted to. So in The Bone Season, we follow Paige Mahoney, who is Irish of origin and is now living in a crime syndicate in London. She is what they call a clairvoyant. So basically her power is that she can dream walk. And the government kills clairvoyants. So that's why she's in the underground syndicate. Paige then gets kidnapped and gets transferred to a secret society that is powered by literal immortal people from a different universe. Paige herself is quite relatable, and it is a very slow burn book. Like, we are following it for a very long time. We are doing everything for the first time with Paige. This book, the world building and the character building, because it is such a slow burn in terms of, like, obviously it's a 500-page book, so it's taking a while for us to get our bearings in this world, and that does it a great justice, because even though we're meeting like a million different people, it doesn't feel rushed, and I get to know each person enough that I care about them. However, at the same time, because it is so slow, I had to start going to the audiobook because I'm a slow reader as well, and I was so invested, but I just couldn't do it in my brain. Hi, baby. This book specifically is more fronting on the fantasy rather than the romance. There is a sliver of romance in here, which I quite enjoyed. There was a point where I was very confused about our male main character's, what he was doing. Like, I was confused about what he was doing, objective and what he was doing, but in the last like 20%, it all just kind of clicked and made sense, and I don't know if that's a user error. It very well could be. I am dyslexic after all. Overall, this is a really good book. It definitely got me out of a slump as well. The concept of having the clairvoyance and then a secret society, it is fantasy. I think the term for this book is urban fantasy set in a dystopian world. I have no idea, but it's definitely dystopian and it's definitely fantasy. I gave it 4 stars. I feel like the next book might make me obsessed. This one obviously does a lot of heavy lifting because it's a lot of new terms, it's a new world. It's not only is it a new world, I've got where it's set at the start in the syndicate and then the secret society part. I'm working overtime. I think if I was to read the next one and I went to go buy it today and it wasn't at my local bookshop, like, I would eat this up. It does very much read like something that was written 10 years ago, which makes sense because it was. This is just like the refined version. Also, like, the last 100 pages is a novella, which I didn't realize when I was calculating how much I had left. That's on me. It is definitely getting me into a fantasy mood, which is kind of what I wanted. But the next book I'm going to read is Paladin's Grace, which is more on the romantasy side. So I'm covering all my bases in terms of things that are fantasy. I'll check in once I'm a little bit into a Paladin's Grace. So it's dual perspective. We are following Grace and Stephen. Grace is a perfumer and Stephen is the Paladin. Oh, goodness gracious. They meet when Grace is scavenging a graveyard for a particular plant and gets chased off by a different religious group, and she runs into Stephen, who's walking home from doing his job. I might look different. Got a haircut. I am just under halfway through Paladin's Grace. I thought I should tell you about the book rather than me just saying I'm halfway through it. It is incredible. When I started reading this, I did not expect murder mystery vibe. The way that I can describe the yearning in this book is probably like 2004 Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy. They're about to kiss and she's like, okay, I'll see you later. He goes, okay. And it's like her POV and she goes, am I crazy or was he leaning in for a kiss? And then the next chapter or next paragraph is immediately him going, fuck, I should have kissed her. What is wrong with me? No, I shouldn't have, because that's unprofessional and I'm a gentleman and I can't do that. But fuck, I wanted to kiss her. And I'm like, so if you can't tell, I'm having a great time. Like, I'm halfway in and they haven't kissed, they haven't fucked. They're imagining things and I'm like, if you take anything away from this video, pick this fucking book up if you like Pride and Prejudice. Just trust me. Just please trust me. Put your faith in me that I'm not telling the biggest fucking lie and overhyping the book, because I promise you I'm not. So I finished A Paladin's Grace a couple days ago. I did sit on it for a little bit. It is not a 5-star read by any means, but did I have a great time reading it? Absolutely, I did. The plot about the murder does actually span into the next books. I can confirm that because I bought 2 of them. They arrived today. Before I finished Paladin's Grace, I pre-ordered Paladin's Strength and Paladin's faith, and whatever the last one is, it's still on its way. Even though this book was more romance forward, it didn't feel too, how you say, cringe because of the murder mystery subplot. You know what I mean? Like, whereas City of Bones, that's not what it's called. The Bone season was very much a lot of world building and then a little bit of romance, and then it set up for the rest of the series. Whereas this, it's a lot easier to comprehend the world because it just kind of exists. You know what I mean? The world in this book, I didn't really need time to comprehend what it was. Even though Bone season was set in London, I've never been to London. And I don't know what the map of Oxford was. This, I can envision the slums. Was it also London in my head? Yeah. The fact that this was also so slow burnt. The fact that this book was also a very slow burn when it did come to the spice. I hate saying spice. Can we just normalize saying sex? Is that so wrong? Anyway, when we came to the sex, it didn't like blow me away. I actually had more fun when it was being slow burned. But that's not a fault on how it was written. It was very well written. But have I fallen back in love with fantasy? I'd probably say yeah. I mean, both of these books have been 4 stars. By the way, Paladin's Grace is 4-star. I don't know if that came up on the camera, but he just jumped up and which are very high for me. I am a very critical rater. I also hate rating books. Like, genuinely, I don't think any rating that I do will do any book justice unless I genuinely hate it. But is this guy for real? But for a fantasy, getting a 4-star, especially on the first book for both of these, is pretty high for me, especially because of the world building and getting to know the characters. A lot of the time, if I continue the series, the next book is normally a 5-star if I really, really, really enjoy it. So I like fantasy again, so I'm gonna go read more fantasy now. It will probably be a Paladin strength. Let's just be completely transparent here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I've worked pretty hard on it. I've done a few things differently, so I hope that you like it. I hope that if this is your first impression of me, that you choose to subscribe and stay along for my journey. I also do AFL stuff, which is just a niche thing that I do. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, arrivederci.